Annie Lee, a bright and ambitious 24-year-old, was on the brink of a new chapter in her life. Just 5 days before her planned wedding, she suddenly vanished without a trace. The last sighting of her was captured on surveillance cameras as she entered the campus of Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. However, she was never seen leaving. As the fall semester began, students at Yale were enjoying the festivities of homecoming, but the atmosphere quickly shifted from joy to despair when Annie's disappearance made headlines. The FBI joined the investigation, alongside over 100 police officers from Yale, New Haven, and Connecticut, all working together to find her. Initially, there were whispers that Annie might have been a runaway bride, but something felt off. All of her personal belongings, her phone, wallet, and credit cards, were left behind in her lab. This led the police to believe that she did not leave voluntarily. Perhaps something sinister had occurred. Annie's friends were at a loss. No one knew what had happened to her. Had she run away or had she been kidnapped? As the investigation unfolded, a chilling discovery was made. A body was found on campus, clothed in blood-stained garments, and there were traces of blood on the ceiling. Annie's profile painted a picture of a dedicated and accomplished student. Born in 1985 in San Jose, California, she was of Vietnamese and American descent. Growing up, she was always encouraged by her parents to pursue her dreams and excel in her studies. Annie graduated high school as valedictorian, receiving a whopping $60,000 scholarship to study neurocellular developmental biology at the University of Rochester. After graduating in 2007, she was accepted into Yale's prestigious graduate program to pursue a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences. Annie was not just focused on academics. She also worked in Yale's animal research lab, where she researched enzymes to treat diabetes, muscular dystrophy, and cancer. Her passion for science was evident, and she often spoke about her desire to make a difference in the world through her research. Outside of her studies, she had a loving relationship with Rod. It's Jonathan Wadowski, her boyfriend, who was studying at Columbia University. Their wedding was set for September 13th, 2009, in Huntington Village, Long Island. Annie had been dreaming about this day for months, meticulously planning every detail from the flowers to the venue. Friends and family were excitedly preparing for the celebration, and Annie often shared her visions of a future filled with love, laughter, and family. As the wedding day approached, Annie was filled with excitement, but also a sense of anxiety. She had been juggling the pressures of her studies with the demands of wedding planning. 6 days prior to the ceremony, on September 7th, 2009, Annie made an unsettling phone call to her best friend, Jennifer Simpson, asking, "Are we too young to get married?" Jennifer, concerned but supportive, reassured her that everything would be fine. However, the next day, Annie did not return home. Her friends quickly reported her missing to the police, fearing that something terrible had happened. They described Annie as a responsible and reliable person, someone who would never just disappear without notice. As the police began their investigation, they found themselves grappling with the unsettling reality that something might have gone horribly wrong. Police began their investigation at Sterling Hall of Medicine, where Annie worked. Her colleagues mentioned that she had left for the animal research lab that morning but never returned. The FBI was called in, and over 100 officers searched the lab. As they entered the basement lab, a foul odor filled the air. They proceeded to Room G13, Annie's research room, but found no sign of her. However, when they turned off the lights and used luminol, a solution that detects blood, an alarming sight emerged. The entire room lit up, revealing numerous bloodstains on the floor, walls, and even the ceiling. A bloodied sock and glove were also discovered. Immediately, the building was sealed off, but Annie's body had still not been found. The search intensified, with police canvassing the area, interviewing students and faculty, and reviewing security footage. The community rallied around Annie's family, organizing search parties and vigils, hoping for her safe return. Flyers with her picture were distributed, and social media became a tool for raising awareness of her disappearance. Days turned into a week, and the tension grew. The police brought in search dogs, which led them to a restroom near Annie's lab. Upon inspecting behind the toilet, they found a layer of yellow insulation. When they removed it, they uncovered Annie's lifeless body. On Ross September 13, the day that was meant to be her wedding day, Annie was found dead. The cause of death was determined to be strangulation, with signs of sexual assault evident. Her family and friends were devastated, grappling with the loss of a vibrant young woman who had so much to look forward to. Annie's parents, who had always encouraged her ambitions, were shattered. They had raised her with love and support, instilling in her a strong sense of purpose and determination. Now they were left to mourn the dreams that would never come to fruition. The news spread quickly, and the community was left in shock, grappling with the horrifying reality that one of their own had been taken from them in such a brutal manner. Investigators reviewed the list of individuals who had access to the lab. They identified 2 men who could have entered the premises on the day Annie disappeared. Larry Godfrey, a contractor, and Raymond Clark II, a lab technician. Larry claimed he had never seen Annie that day, but Raymond admitted to seeing her at 10:30 a.m. As the investigation deepened, police began to uncover more about Raymond's past. He had a history of troubling behavior, and his connection to Annie raised red flags. After conducting DNA tests, police confirmed that Raymond's DNA matched the evidence found at the scene. The evidence pointed to a horrifying reality. Annie had been murdered by someone she might have trusted. As the investigation continued, the community was left reeling. Students expressed their shock and fear, questioning their safety on campus. Yale University, known for its prestigious reputation, now faced scrutiny regarding its security measures and the safety of its students. Discussions about campus safety became a focal point, with many calling for increased security and better protocols to protect students. On September 17, 2009, Raymond was arrested. Initially, he denied the charges, claiming he had no involvement in Annie's death. But as evidence mounted against him, he eventually confessed. By March 2011, he pleaded guilty to murder and sexual assault. He was sentenced to Potonan Turmi, 44 years in prison. Annie's family sought justice not only for her, but also for the safety of future students. They sued Yale University for inadequate security measures, resulting in a settlement of $3 million. The case sparked discussions about campus safety and the need for better protection for students, particularly women. In the aftermath of the trial, Annie's parents became advocates for campus safety, speaking at events and engaging with lawmakers to push for reforms that would ensure students felt safe in their educational environments. They shared Annie's story, hoping to raise awareness and prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. The case left a profound impact on Annie's family and friends. The bride-to-be was brutally murdered just before her significant day, leaving a void that could never be filled. Friends and family gathered to honor her memory, sharing stories of her kindness, intelligence, and ambition. They established a scholarship in her name to support young women pursuing careers in science, hoping to inspire future generations. Annie's legacy continued to grow as the scholarship provided support to numerous students. Each recipient was required to write an essay about their aspirations and how they planned to make a difference in the world, reflecting Annie's own dreams. The scholarship became a beacon of hope, encouraging young women to pursue their passions in science and research. Annie's tragic story resonated deeply within the Yale community and beyond. Vigils were held in her honor, where students, faculty, and community members gathered to remember her and reflect on the importance of safety and vigilance. The outpouring of grief and support highlighted the bond that exists within communities, especially in times of tragedy. Many students began to advocate for improved safety measures on campus. They organized forums and discussions, inviting experts to speak about personal safety, self-defense, and the importance of reporting suspicious behavior. The university administration took notice and implemented several changes, including increased security personnel on campus and better lighting in dark areas. Annie's story also reached national media, sparking conversations about violence against women in educational institutions. Advocacy groups used her case as a rallying point for campaigns aimed at improving safety measures for women on college campuses across the country. The conversations that emerged from Annie's tragic fate served to empower many, encouraging individuals to speak out against violence and demand change. Annie's tragic story serves as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and awareness in our lives. It emphasizes the need for suffered open communication. Always express your feelings and concerns to loved ones. Encourage honest conversations about fears and anxieties, especially during significant life changes. Annie's phone call to Jennifer highlighted the importance of discussing emotions, even if it feels uncomfortable. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't hesitate to seek help. Trusting your gut can sometimes be the difference between safety and danger. Annie's uncertainty before her wedding was a crucial moment that should remind us to listen to our inner voice. Community support. Stand together to create safe environments for everyone. Communities should foster a culture of care and vigilance, looking out for one another. The outpouring of support from the community during Annie's disappearance demonstrated the strength of collective action. Advocacy for safety. Institutions must prioritize the safety of their students and staff. Schools and universities should implement robust security measures and provide resources for students in distress. The lawsuit against Yale served as a wake-up call for many institutions to reevaluate their safety protocols. Cherishing life. Life is fragile, and we must cherish each moment with our loved ones. Annie's story reminds us to appreciate the people in our lives and the time we have together. Annie Lee's disappearance and tragic death serve as a chilling reminder of the dangers that can lurk in seemingly safe environments. Her story resonates with many, sparking conversations about safety, trust, and the importance of community. As we remember Annie, let us commit to fostering a society where everyone feels secure and empowered to pursue their dreams without fear. Her legacy lives on through the lives she touched and the changes her story inspired, reminding us all to be vigilant, compassionate, and proactive in ensuring the safety of those around us. In the years following her death, Annie's friends and family continued to celebrate her life. They organized annual memorial events where they shared her favorite memories, played her favorite songs, and even created a small garden in her honor at Yale. This garden became a peaceful retreat for students, a place where they could reflect, study, or simply enjoy the beauty of nature. Annie's story also inspired a documentary that explored the issue of campus safety and the impact of violence against women. The film featured interviews with Annie's family, friends, and advocates, shedding light on the need for systemic change in educational institutions. The documentary was screened at various film festivals and sparked discussions across the country, leading to further advocacy for legislative changes aimed at protecting students. As we reflect on Annie's life and the impact of her tragic story, it is crucial to recognize that change begins with each of us. We must advocate for our own safety and the safety of those around us. Whether it's through community engagement, supporting local organizations, or simply being a good friend, we all have a role to play in creating a safer world. Let us honor Annie's memory by promoting awareness and ensuring that such tragedies do not happen again. Her story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing those we love. As we reflect on her life, let us strive to create a world where every individual feels safe and valued, where dreams can flourish without fear. In the end, Annie Lee's legacy is not just about the tragedy of her death, but also about the hope she inspired in others. Her story encourages us to be vigilant, proactive, and compassionate, ensuring that her memory lives on in our actions and our commitment to making the world a better place. In the aftermath of Annie's case, her family and friends did not stop advocating for change. They formed a coalition with other families affected by similar tragedies, creating a support network for those who had lost loved ones to violence. This coalition worked tirelessly to lobby for stronger laws protecting victims of domestic violence and harassment, pushing for legislative reforms that would hold perpetrators accountable. They organized rallies and public forums, inviting survivors to share their stories and experiences. Through these efforts, they aimed to raise awareness about the prevalence of violence against women, particularly in educational settings. They believed that by sharing their stories, they could help others understand the urgency of the issue and inspire action. Annie's family also collaborated with educational institutions to develop programs aimed at preventing violence on campuses. They advocated for comprehensive training for staff and students on recognizing warning signs of violence and how to respond appropriately. These programs included workshops on consent, healthy relationships, and bystander intervention strategies. Schools began to adopt these programs, recognizing the importance of fostering a culture of respect and safety. The initiatives not only educated students, but also empowered them to stand up against violence and support their peers. Annie's story became a central part of these educational efforts, serving as a powerful reminder of the impact of violence and the importance of community action. The rise of social media played a significant role in amplifying Annie's story. Hashtags like Justice for Annie trended, bringing attention to her case and the broader issue of violence against women. Online campaigns encouraged people to share their experiences and support one another, creating a sense of solidarity among survivors and advocates. Digital platforms became a space for activism where individuals could connect, share resources, and organize events. The online community rallied around Annie's family, providing emotional support and helping to spread awareness about the need for change. Annie's tragic story contributed to a cultural shift in how society views violence against women. More individuals began to speak out against harassment and abuse, challenging the stigma that often silenced victims. Conversations about consent, boundaries, and respect became more prevalent, fostering a climate where individuals felt empowered to share their experiences and demand accountability. Media coverage of Annie's case also played a role in shaping public perception. Journalists highlighted the systemic issues that allowed violence to persist, urging readers to confront uncomfortable truths about gender-based violence. This increased visibility prompted discussions in homes, schools, and workplaces, encouraging individuals to reflect on their own behaviors and attitudes. As the years passed, Annie's legacy continued to inspire action and change. The scholarship in her name flourished, supporting countless young women pursuing careers in science and research. Recipients of the scholarship often spoke about how Annie's story motivated them to overcome obstacles and pursue their dreams with determination. Her family remained committed to advocating for justice and safety, participating in conferences, panel discussions, and community events. They shared their journey of grief and healing, emphasizing the importance of resilience and hope in the face of adversity. Annie's story became a symbol of the fight against violence, illustrating the need for collective action and systemic change. Her memory served as a guiding light for many, reminding them that even in the darkest times, hope and love can prevail. In conclusion, the tragic disappearance and death of Annie Lee serve as a stark reminder of the challenges faced by individuals in our society. Her story is one of loss, but it is also one of resilience, hope, and the power of community. As we reflect on her life and legacy, let us commit to creating a world where everyone feels safe, valued, and empowered to pursue their dreams. Annie's story encourages us to be vigilant, proactive, and compassionate in our efforts to prevent violence and support one another. By honoring her memory and advocating for change, we can work towards a future where tragedies like hers are no longer a reality. Let us carry forward the lessons learned from Annie's life, ensuring that her legacy continues to inspire action and foster a culture of safety, respect, and love. Together, we can make a difference and create a brighter future for generations to come. Annie's story highlights the importance of storytelling in raising awareness and fostering understanding. By sharing personal narratives, we can humanize complex issues and inspire empathy in others. Annie's family and friends used their voices to tell her story, ensuring that her life and legacy would not be forgotten. Storytelling can bridge gaps between different communities, fostering dialogue and understanding. It allows us to confront uncomfortable truths and challenge societal norms. By sharing Annie's story, her loved ones not only honored her memory but also contributed to a larger conversation about violence against women and the need for systemic change. In the wake of Annie's tragedy, the importance of creating safe spaces for dialogue and support became evident. Community organizations began to establish programs focused on mental health, self-care, and empowerment. These spaces allowed individuals to share their experiences, seek help, and connect with others who had faced similar challenges. Workshops, support groups, and outreach programs emerged, providing resources for those affected by violence. These initiatives aim to empower individuals, helping them reclaim their voices and navigate their healing journeys. Annie's story served as a catalyst for these efforts, illustrating the urgent need for support systems in our communities. Annie's family and advocates continued to push for legislative changes aimed at protecting victims of violence. They worked alongside lawmakers to draft and promote bills that addressed issues such as stalking, harassment, and domestic violence. Their advocacy efforts sought to create a legal framework that would better protect individuals and hold perpetrators accountable. Community engagement became a central focus of their work. They organized town hall meetings, inviting community members to participate in discussions about safety, prevention, and support. By fostering a sense of community involvement, they aimed to create a culture of vigilance and care. Education emerged as a critical component in the fight against violence. Annie's family emphasized the need for comprehensive education programs that addressed issues of consent, healthy relationships, and bystander intervention. They advocated for these programs to be integrated into school curricula.